Yes, this is your family caregiver, Queen C. Pinkston. Guys, a little bit late tonight. Yeah, kind of had a long day at work. The question is the measles outbreak a threat to Black family caregivers? What states are really being blasted by the measles right now in the U.S. and what can we do about it? What should you do about it? Should you be concerned? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it right now. Guys, this is Queen C. Pinkston, your family caregiver support, and on this channel, we've got support family caregivers dealing with mainly Alzheimer's, dealing with hemodialysis, just dealing with caregiver support. And right now, all of these things that we're talking about tonight is very important and is very current. I want to say thank you. I have received some dynamic comments pertaining to the video we did on the passport identification, dealing with the SAVE law that is attempting to be passed. That was awesome. Thank you so much. And there's so many of the videos, guys. You guys have just been really leaving some dynamic comments. I wish I could just read all the comments to you. But we want to get into this video about measles. So I want to say thank you. Like the video, share the video, guys. Let's get this information out. This is not a joke. All right. So is the measles outbreak a threat to Black family caregivers and also Black families? The answer is yes. Let me get my notes here. The answer is yes. So should Black family caregivers be concerned about the measles outbreak in the U.S.? The answer is yes. So let's talk about it. Black family caregivers should be concerned about the measles outbreak in the U.S., especially given its rapid spread and the vulnerability of certain populations. Measles is highly contagious and can lead to severe complications, particularly for children, the elderly, and individuals with weakened immune systems. So what do I mean by weakened immune systems? Let's see here. For number one, if you are a second child of someone that has died from measles in the U.S., or if you have a condition, for example, like hemodialysis, kidney failure, your immune system is weakened. If you are suffering from any major disease, cancer, or anything of that sort, your immune system is weakened. That means that you are not in a position to fight off the disease as if you were not in a weakened state. Now, most of us, we were immune. We had our shots when we were children. We received our shots for measles. We received our shots for the polio. We received our shots for chickenpox, which later becomes vaccine. Later become shingles when you become an adult. It's really referred to as shingles and things of that sort. And even as an adult, you still can get your vaccines. Now, there's a lot of people that say, well, I don't believe in it, and I'm going to do home remedies and things of that sort. That's going to be your choice. That's going to be your choice. My choice is to get the information out to you out to the family caregivers that are caring for your loved ones. You might not be immune compromised, but if you're caring for your mother or father, or maybe you have a child, someone that even years ago maybe have been vaccinated, but now their immune system is not able to fight off the measles, you need to be aware of what is going on, what you can do to try and protect yourself and your family. So that's what we're talking about here. Again, if you say I don't believe in it, that's your choice. But my choice is to get the information out to you. Okay, so measles is highly contagious. It's not just something that you get and is just no, no, no. It's contagious. Measles is highly contagious and can lead to severe complications, particularly for children, particularly for the elderly, and particularly for individuals with weakened immune systems. Key concerns for caregivers. You are caring for your loved one at home. Number one, vaccination status. Vaccination status. Many cases in the outbreak involve unvaccinated individuals. Ensuring that family members, especially children, are up to date on their MMR. Now, what do I mean by MMR? Measles, mumps, rubella. MMR. You hear your doctor talk about that. Vaccinations is crucial. Now, I know you're hearing with our new administration, I think it is Kennedy and whoever else is over that department, and they're saying this is not necessary, and and you can take something. I'm not sure what they say you can take. I'm going to say this at this point. I believe in vitamins and I take them every day and I take them religiously. You've even heard me do a video on how olive oil can help you and how your MCTs can help you. But you don't want to take anything that is in abundance. So you can do too much of something and it can affect your liver or it can throw your other organs out of balance. So you might be trying to do a home remedy to say, okay, I heard that you can drink a lot of this or a lot of that, and it will throw your system out of balance. It can affect your liver or affect your kidney, or your body won't be able to excrete or dispel this these things that you're putting in. So you're going to end up having another problem now. So where you didn't have trouble with your liver or your kidneys or something, now you're going to have problems because you're taking in whatever you think that you heard somebody say to take care of the measles. And I don't want to call any names, but I know it's been said over the news. All right. So ensuring that family members, especially children, are up to date on their MMR, the measles, mumps, rubella. Vaccination is crucial. Okay? Now, caregivers often interact with healthcare facilities. I work in a healthcare facility, so I know what I'm talking about, even though mine is kind of closed in because we are a chronic private unit, but you still have people coming in and out of that facility, and they're going to be exposed to other people. All right? So, caregivers often interact with healthcare facilities or community spaces, which may increase the risk of exposure. Practicing. Now, I know you say, well, my God, we just went through this with COVID, and now we're talking about measles and all kinds of stuff. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And it's real. All right. So practicing good hygiene and avoiding crowded areas during outbreaks can help reduce the risk. Remember, measles are highly contagious. So you need to be aware, and if someone has it or your children has it or someone you don't want to expose your loved one that you're caring for to it. A lot of caregivers have children in their homes and other ones. So you're going to have to watch that. They can't fight it off, people. They can't fight it off. Their immune system is not strong enough. I'm praying that God will give you wisdom. Wisdom. Please just don't turn a deaf ear to this measles exposure. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the likes. Thank you. Please like and share and subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So now, Black families, and this is for everybody, but my podcast, I target Black family caregivers. Black family caregivers must be informed. We must know what's going on. And we must take it seriously, guys. We must take it seriously. Yes, we are believers. Yes, we walk by faith. The Bible says faith without works is dead. We want to live by faith and not by foolishness. And we want to do what is wise to protect ourselves and our loved ones. Tev Dasik, I can't even say it. Interesting, you say that as I am not black but still here listening, amen. It is, it is. This has nothing to do with color. It's just that I have to have a target market, and my target market is aimed toward Black family caregivers because of the health disparities and some of the information that is just not available to the Black community sometimes. And sometimes we got our own cultural ways of maybe not believing or hearing or adhering to. So we have to target that market and let them know this is real. This is real. Everybody's included, but we got to get that market out to them. So again, Black families may face systemic barriers. Now, you might not face that, Tev, but Black families will sometimes we face systemic barriers to healthcare access. To healthcare access. That's real. That happens to us, okay? And making it essential to advocate for timely vaccinations and care. So we have to not be blocked out with that. We have to make sure that we press our way through to get the care that is needed. All right. So what are some steps? What are some steps to protect your family? What are some steps? Excuse me. And drink a little sip of coffee here. Just got off from work, guys. And by the way, I'm here in New York. Tev, let me know where you're watching from, guys, as you come in. Okay. The steps to protect the family. Okay. Number one, vaccinate. Now, you'll see this is a syringe, it's a baster. But guys, I believe in getting my vaccines. I cared for my late mom and I cared for my late husband. They were not able to fight off diseases that could bring in. So I was very careful not to bring in the flu, whatever was going on at that time, because they couldn't fight it off. My mother was elderly. She couldn't fight it off. My husband was on dialysis. He couldn't fight it off. So I had to be careful who I was exposed to and who I let come inside if they were ill in some way. And I thank God, because just to say this real quick and we get back to topic, I ran a home business. So people came in but I had to have it set up where they would come in and go into the studio, and then from the studio back out the door. Or if they had to use the facilities, had a facility set up that they could use it and back, to give the family the least amount of exposure as possible to anyone that was coming in with some type of an ailment. And at that time, it was just probably a bad cold, a flu, but I knew what a bad cold or flu could do to them. So I had to, number one, protect myself because I was their primary caregiver, but I had to work also. So I couldn't allow myself to get sick with it, then take it in and give it to them. I could not do that. So I had to guard against that. All right, so now what do we say? So the way that you're going to protect your family, yourself and your family, number one, you're going to vaccinate. You're going to ensure all eligible family members have received the MMR vaccine. What is that? Measles, mumps, and rubella. Rubella is chickenpox. Okay. It is the most effective way to prevent measles. Now I'm telling you, like you're gonna hear on the news, there some guy was saying drink something. Just be careful about that. And if you're gonna drink something somebody tell you to do on the news, check with your doctor first. Don't go doing that. Don't go doing that because you're looking for trouble. You're looking for trouble. All right, let's go on. Another way to protect your family, you're going to monitor symptoms. What do I mean? Monitor symptoms. Oh, Tab, you're in Washington State. Complete different size. Yes, you're right. I'm in upstate New York. You're exactly right. But the measles don't care. All right. So you want to be aware of the measles symptoms. Tab, do you know what the measles symptoms are? Do you know what they are? Any idea what they are? There's one that's obvious to everybody. You say, well, let's talk about it because you need to know. All right. So beware of measles symptoms such as number one, Tab, is high fever. Now we know our body try to protect us. That's what our body do. So immediately, we'll get a fever in a minute. We'll run a temp. And when we're running a temp, 99, 100, and one, whatever the case may be, it tells get to the doctor or get your kids to the doctor or do something, okay? Your body is saying something is not right. So that's one. Number one is you're going to have a high fever. Number two, you create a cough. There's a cough it takes place. So if we have a high fever and somebody's coughing, and now the obvious one. You're going to get a rash. You're going to start itching. You're going to break out. If you remember when you were a child, you broke out in a bunch of bumps and all kinds of things all over you, and they were all over you on your back, and they were just all everywhere, and you were just scratching and scratching and scratching and scratching. That rash. All right? So what you need to do then is you need to seek medical attention promptly if they appear. If you start seeing this breaking out on your children, seeing it breaking out on yourself, you're coughing and you got a temp, guys, don't play with it. The measles is no joke. Get it to the doctor. And they are highly contagious. I can't say that enough. They are highly contagious. So it can run through a family. It can run through a family. Okay? All right. What's the next thing? How are we going to protect? We want to stay informed. We want to stay informed. We want to follow updates tab. We want to find out where's the outbreak? Where is it? And I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you the states right now in a little bit where it's mostly the outbreak is right now. Okay? So we want to follow updates from trusted sources like the CDC. Okay? Now you're going to hear a lot of people talk about a lot of stuff. Be careful with politics. Oh, how can I say this in a good way? A lot of politicians are not concerned about your health, and I need you to understand they're not going to come to your bedside when you're sick. Very few politicians from Washington or wherever going to get on a plane, Tab, and fly. Well, you're in Washington State, but very few going to come to your bedside and sit with you while you have the measles, or sit with your loved ones while you have the measles. So we got to use wisdom in this thing. We can't just be, we got to use wisdom. Okay? I hope that makes sense to somebody, please. All right. So we want to stay informed from sources like the Center for Disease Control and understand the outbreak trends and recommendations. All right. So taking proactive measures can help caregivers protect their families. That's what this is about. You are the one that's giving care. And if you get the measles, then you spread it to your loved ones. That's not going to be a good idea. And I'm going to say it again. A lot of caregivers have families. You might have a lot of caregivers. You could be married. Your husband is working outside the home. He's getting exposed. Or you have children going to school. They're getting exposed. And everybody is coming back home. So you got to make sure if the kids, somebody's coming in the house and they start coughing and they're scratching, you got to make an immediate assessment. Immediate assessment. It would be a good thing if you had a thermometer. And you can get those. You can get the scanner. I'm sorry, bump my computer. You can get the scanners, or we use that at work. You don't have to worry about putting it under the tongue and putting it everywhere. They have them now. You just scan right across the forehead or wherever. It lets you know exactly what your temperature is. It is nothing invasive. You don't even have to do that. Okay. So it says here, and if another thing too, if people are coughing, guys, I've noticed this at work, and I've noticed this around after COVID, where people are not wearing masks. I notice people just cough now. No one's covering their mouth, Tab. They just cough, and I'm going like, wow. Or people just sneeze. It's like I guess they got used to coughing in the mask or something, and now that the mask is off, everybody just cough. And I'm going, no, what happened to covering your mouth when you cough? Nobody's doing that now. And so if again, what we say is airborne. It's airborne, right? So if you got a fever and you're scratching and you're coughing, you want to be aware. Guys, make sure you like the video and share this video, guys. We appreciate it very much. It means the world to me. All right, let's move on. So do we know which states are mostly infected, and what caregivers with children should be aware of around the sick loved ones? I think we talked about that, but let's look at this, see what it said in the states. So it says here, the 2025 measles outbreak has significantly impacted states like, here we go, guys. Do anybody know which state? Give me one. How about Washington? Is it in Washington? Would that be one too? Anybody would know? All right, I'm going to tell you. Okay? So, impacted states like Texas and New Mexico, which account for over, are you ready for this number? 90%. 90% of the cases. But now don't get excited, because other infected states includes my state, New York, California, and Ohio. Wow. This thing spreads. It says caregivers with children should take extra precaution, especially if they are caring for sick loved ones. We said that already. All right. So, precautions for caregivers with children. Let's repeat. Ensure all children and family members are up to date on their what? MMR. Can't say it enough. Measles, mumps, and rubella. Measles, mumps, rubella is chickenpox. Vaccinations. This is the most effective way to prevent measles. The most effective way. Now, Second to none is hygiene. Second to none is hygiene. You're gonna wash your hands frequently. You're gonna disinfect surfaces. During COVID, a lot of people were buying a lot of disinfectant type of things to disinfect with. But I'm gonna tell you the number one thing to disinfect with, not the number one thing to drink. People did some stupid stuff and they died. Not something to drink. But the number one thing to disinfect with, you know what that is? It's like 1 part bleach to like 10 part water. 1 part bleach to like 10 part water. To wash any surfaces with or anything, bleach will kill it. It's very good at disinfecting. Yes, yes, yes. But you don't eat, you don't drink it. Yes, yes, Tab, remember that. 1 part, I said 1 part bleach to 10 part water. Okay? Yes, yes, yes. Now, someone gave a word out years ago to drink it, and people drank something and they died. It's not for ingestion at all. Don't do that. But as far as disinfecting surfaces, 1 part bleach to 10 part water. Okay, so you're going to wash hands frequently, disinfect surfaces. You're going to avoid sharing utensils or personal items with infected individuals. So if someone is infected, now you're not going to be sharing the same glass, you're not going to be sharing the same utensils, you're not going to be sharing the same, because it is contagious. Measles, again, are what? Highly contagious. Yeah, well, someone in the public arena made a comment years back and said that folks should drink bleach to get rid of COVID. And some folks followed that instruction and they lost their lives. So that's why I say don't, when you hear people say stuff. And also, a new health, Mr. Kennedy, I think, he's recommending that you do, I don't know if it was olive oil or something, I don't want to misquote him, some type of something he was recommending that you drink. Just be careful, be careful, because I do olive oil not for measles. I do just a tab of it. I do MCTs. They're very good. They're brain health, and they help to fight dementias and all type of things. They feed the brain. You can put that stuff on your salads and things of that sort. But I don't know what it was he was recommending that you drink oil to get rid of the measles. Whatever it was, don't do it. The number one way is vaccines. That's where we're sticking. We're sticking to the truth and uh, pull up the CDC website and get your information, legit, legit. All right. So what do we say now? Let's go back because I don't want to get sidetracked. What we're going to do, number one is vaccinations. Okay. Number two, hygiene practices. All right. Number three is isolation. Isolation. So if a loved one has measles, now we do this at work. We have an isolation room so we can put people out of population if they have this. So if a loved one has measles, isolate them in a separate room to minimize exposure to others, especially children. So if someone has the measles, you don't want the kids running in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. No, that room is off limit now until they get heal, 2 weeks or whatever it takes to get over it now. I forgot how long. Okay? Isolate them. It's the way you did with COVID. They have to be in their own area. All right. Okay. And then next, we're going to monitor the symptoms. We're going to monitor the symptoms. I guess you guys said, wow, I feel like I'm being a nurse or something. Well, in a sense, you are, because you're taking care of your loved ones. You're taking care of yourself, and you're taking care of your loved ones. And some of you, as you're doing your care, you're doing this already. You're already monitoring your loved ones. You're already doing these things. Some of you might already be taking blood pressure. You might already be taking temps. You might already be doing this. Okay? Just that it's not the measles, thank God. All right. So you're gonna watch for early signs of measles in children. What are the signs again? Fever, cough, now in children, runny nose, and rash. So we added something different in there for the kids. Runny nose, coughing, fever, and rash, scratching, bumps, scratching, multiple bumps. Okay? If you see these signs, you're going to do what? Seek medical attention promptly. You do urgent care or wherever you're gonna go. You're gonna take them someplace. Okay? All right. You're going to now we're talking about protecting the family, protecting yourself, you as a caregiver, protecting your family. So you're going to protect vulnerable individuals. Who are the vulnerable ones? Who are the vulnerable ones now? This thing is highly contagious to everybody. But who are the vulnerable ones? Infants. Infants under 12 months, vulnerable to measles. And those with weakened immune systems are at higher risk. Weakened immune systems again. You could be on dialysis. You could be diabetic. You could, you got hypertension. You got some ailment. Something is going on that weaken your immune system. You're at a higher risk. Okay? You're going to limit their exposure to public spaces and unvaccinated individuals during outbreaks. Now, this is the tricky part. You don't always know who is unvaccinated. How are you going to know if I'm vaccinated or not? Just food for thought. How will you know? How will you know? If I don't tell you, or if you don't maybe live with me and know that I've gone to the doctor and been vaccinated, how will you know? It's very interesting. I don't think you have a way of knowing. I don't think you have a way of knowing if I've been vaccinated or not. You can't just look at me and tell. I got my syringe, my base are here, but you can't tell if I've had that shot or not. You don't know. How will you know? That's interesting, isn't it? I pray that people would be honest. I pray that people, if they see themselves getting any of these signs and symptoms, that they would go and have themselves checked out. That's what I pray. All right, so let's see here. So measles cases are rising, and vaccine hesitancy is a significant challenge with our communities. In the Black community, we don't like vaccines. We don't. The central issue we're facing is that many people are opting out of vaccines. It might not be you, but a lot of people today in the community, they're saying, no, I'm not going to get vaccinated. I'm not going to get my kids vaccinated, right? Putting not just themselves, but also their loved ones at risk. So they're not getting vaccinated, and therefore they are more apt to get the disease, measles. We're talking about measles. And then therefore they're putting you or the family members in the home or that sick loved one in the home at risk. Something to think about. I'm not selling vaccines. I'm just trying to share some information here. Hosea 4:6 in the scripture says that my people are destroyed due to a lack of knowledge. And it said those that reject knowledge will eat the fruit thereof. So whatever you choose, it's always your choice, whatever you choose. But every choice that we make has consequences. We choose to get vaccinated, okay? We choose not to get vaccinated, okay? It's all up to you. It's all your choice. Just know that the measles is running rampant. And know that they are highly, highly contagious. Know that the very young is vulnerable. Know that the very old is vulnerable. Know that anyone with any type of immune compromised ailment is vulnerable. Okay? So let's go on. So This is particularly concerning for Black families. That's why we do this. Who already face significant health disparities. The lack of trust in the medical system. We don't trust them, guys. Coupled with what? Misinformation. Somebody say, the measles is okay. You know what? I lived through it. I'm all right. Well, yeah, blah, 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 right? Is exasperating the problem. Many of us are unaware of the risk associated with measles and the importance of vaccination is preventing its spread. In preventing its spread, we're not aware of that because we don't have all the full information and we haven't taken the time to do the research. So we don't know. We just know that it's happening over in Texas. We see a snapshot of it on the news. We know that it's happening maybe in New Mexico. We know that there's some cases in New York, and there's some cases in California. There's some cases over here, but we don't know. We have no idea, the fullness of it, right? And that's not playing down on our intelligence. It's just that we don't know. If we don't know, we just don't know. We haven't done the research. This is particularly concerning for Black families who already face health disparities, okay? So many of us are unaware of the risks associated with measles. As a result, we're seeing a resurgence of this highly contagious disease, which can have severe consequences, especially for young children and those with weakened immune systems. I can't say that enough. The rise in measles, in my computer here, the rise in measles cases is a clear indication that our communities are not adequately protected. Historically, the medical system has failed Black communities, leading to mistrust and what? Skepticism. Hi, Frank. How are you? I do remember you. Yes, I do. Yes. So good you're here. We're discussing measles, Frank. Measles and the outbreak of measles. Yes. Are you familiar with measles? Do you know that measles are going? Yes, ma'am, you are? Okay. Where are you from again? I forget. I'm in New York. Tell me again, Frank, where are you from? What? Russia. Okay. Is there an outbreak of measles in Russia right now? Are you guys dealing with measles at all in Russia? Oh, you do have some. Okay. Yes. Some cases. Okay. Yeah. Well, I just shared with the audience as you go back and you're listening to the video that we have, I'll throw it in just for you just for a little bit. We have in the U.S., we have Texas and New Mexico. They have 90% of the cases right now, but there's other cases, like I'm in New York, there's cases here, cases in California, and in Ohio. Yeah, so it is an outbreak there. Yes. I went over the symptoms of, I was going to U.S. for a new life this month. Well, welcome. I pray that it will bless you. Just be aware of what we're sharing. So I pray you'll go back and listen to the beginning of the video because I give you the signs and symptoms of measles and what to look for and things of that sort because it's highly contagious and you just want to be aware, not to scare you, but it's just a matter of having information so you know what's going on. All right. So it says here, with the Black community, there's always been a mistrust. There's a mistrust with the health department. So this mistrust, combined with the spread of misinformation, has created a perfect storm that's putting our families at risk. So we can't do that. We got to be aware, okay? We need to acknowledge the role of misinformation in fueling vaccine hesitancy, because vaccine is the number one protection, okay? And work towards what educating our communities about the importance of vaccination. That's what I'm doing right now. By doing so, we can empower Black families, all families. My target market is Black families because of this misinformation disparity thing, um, to make informed decisions about their health and protect themselves against the measles outbreak. We must, Frank, be able to make informed decisions. We must do research. We can't just blindly do stuff, okay? And I know you know that. You seem to be a very intelligent guy. And so was Tab, that was on here. Make sure you give the video a like, please, and subscribe. So, oh my God, let's move on. We're almost out of time. Vaccination is the key to preventing the spread of measles. And it's essential we understand its significance. The measles vaccine is highly effective in preventing the disease, and it's crucial we get vaccinated to protect not just ourselves, but also our loved ones. That's crucial because it's highly contagious. It's highly contagious. Okay? Many of us may be unaware of the risk associated with measles or the importance of vaccination in preventing its spread. It's time we take control of our health and make informed decisions about vaccination. We got to decide what we're going to do here. I have a little personal story I want to share here. Someone wrote a personal story that illustrates the risk of the outbreak poses to a Black families in that of a young child who contracted measles due to the lack of vaccination. The child's condition quickly deteriorated and they were hospitalized for several weeks. This story highlights the importance of vaccination and the devastating consequences of not taking action. You see, we must learn from such stories and work toward creating a safer, healthier environment for our families. The risk of measles is real, and it's up to us to take the necessary steps to protect ourselves and our loved ones. It's nobody's choice but ours. We got to choose. You can say, I'm not going to do it, or I'm going to do it. It's your choice, no matter what. Remember, you suffer the consequences. By sharing such stories, we can raise awareness about the importance of vaccination and encourage our communities to take action. In summary, as we close and we talk here, the measles outbreak poses a significant threat to all communities, but it definitely poses a threat to Black communities because of our negativity that we've had with the healthcare system that you might not be aware of, Frank. Our history, our healthcare system with Blacks hasn't been the best. And we're skeptical sometimes about taking vaccines and things of that sort because they've been used against us a lot of times instead of being used for us. But now we have to do our research and we have to find out really what the deal is and make wise decisions for ourselves. You know, I hope that makes sense to you. I don't know if other people have faced that, but I know we have as a people, as a culture, and we have to be aware of what's going on. Okay, so vaccination is the key to preventing the spread of measles, and it is essential to understand the importance of it by acknowledging the role of misinformation. That's what we've received over years is misinformation, historical distrust, and the importance of vaccination. We can empower our communities to make the informed decisions about their health. We do the research now. Get a doctor that you can trust. Get a cultural doctor if you can. If you can get a cultural doctor, one that can understand why you would be a little hesitant about taking vaccines and why you would be a little hesitant. Get you a cultural doctor who understand the history that you've had to deal with, that we've had to deal with as a people, and they will understand where we're coming from, and we're saying, man, I'm not up on taking these shots. I'm not up on getting all these vaccines. This thing is not something that we do, but we want to live, and we want our children to live, and we want our families to live. So we want to do what we know is right for them as well as ourselves. So let's keep the conversation going, guys. Share your thoughts and share your comments about what we've talked about here today. And I want to thank Tab and thank Frank and all the ones that came in. And let's not be lackadaisical about these things. I shared with you before. I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, that God is a protector and that He is a healer. I'm going to read. I just got a scripture that came to my mind right here. I don't know if you guys read the Psalms, but I want to read a Psalms for closing tonight as we've been talking about the diseases. I want to read Psalms 91 in the scriptures, okay, for closing. It says, it's talking about being in God's care, be it the measles or wherever. I want to use this as our closing tonight, okay? It says, he that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence, whatever measles, whatever is coming. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shall thy trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flies by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even most high thy habitation. Now, this is a verse that I really, really love right here. I love this verse, okay? It says, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague. Let's talk about measles, chickenpox, or whatever COVID coming. Neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder. The young lion and the dragon shall thou trample under feet. Because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. Guys, I want to say, through all the things that we're dealing with, giving you the information about the measles and everything that's coming, and there's going to be other ones come too. I want you to know above all that God loves you and God is our protector. But He also gives us a mind to make wise decisions. Okay? He gives us a mind to make wise decisions. Decisions that will protect ourselves and our families. So we don't want to do things haphazardly. Just, I hear that the measles are out there, but nah, I'm okay. You might be, and by God's grace, I pray that you are. But I also pray that if you have any type of insurance or that could be a factor too. That could be a big factor. Caregivers, if you don't have, a lot of caregivers might not have insurance, they might not have access to insurance to be able to get the vaccine. I pray that God will open the door for you if that's needed, and that you will be able to get the health care that you need to protect yourself and to protect your family. I believe that God will do that for you. I strongly believe by faith that God will work things out for you. Just know that He does not want us to be naive. He does not want us to be ignorant. Ignorant means not knowing. He does not want us to be that way. He does not want us to be like, all of a sudden you've allowed this thing to happen, this thing enter into your home, and you're going like, I heard about it, but I didn't believe it. Or I heard somebody say that there was a measles outbreak, but I didn't pay any attention. I heard that it was in Texas. I heard that it was in New Mexico. I heard that it was in California. I even heard that it was in New York. But I didn't pay it no mind. Well, the kids was coughing and they were running a fever, but I gave them an aspirin and it was okay. And then I saw all these little bumps break out. And I wasn't sure exactly what all those little bumps were, but, he kept scratching and crying, but I just said, go sit down, boy, or something. We're not going to do that. We're not going to be like that. We're going to pray. We're going to ask God, God, give me wisdom right here. My child has a fever. His nose is running. He's coughing. All these little bumps are coming out on him. And I am taking him to the urgent care. I'm taking him someplace to get help. And I'm trusting you, God, that everything is going to work out all right. That's the mindset that we're going to have. That's how we do this. That's how we do this. And as you go, you pray. You pray before you go. You pray while you're going on the way. You pray when you get there that the doctor will do the right thing. You're covering your child under the blood. You say, under the blood? What are you talking about? Under the blood, under the faith of Jesus. We're into the Easter season. We're coming into the Easter season. Tomorrow is Palm Sunday. The Sunday before Easter. Easter we worship as Jesus being crucified and raised from the dead. Well, you know what that means? He shed his blood for us, right? And in his blood that he shed on the cross for us is healing. So we're going to believe him for the healing. But one of the things that we're going to believe with that healing? That we're not going to lock God into a box and say, you can only heal me this way. If your child is sick or you are feeling these things on you, God can use no doctors can heal you, and God can use doctors to heal you. God can use whomever he sees fit because he's God. Our job is to trust him to bring it to pass, not tell him how to bring it to pass, but to trust him to bring it to pass. We're going to trust him that we do what we know to do. Again, we are workers together with Christ, right? Workers together. We're a team. We're workers together with Christ. I love the word team. God is always there on our side, and we're trusting him. Workers together. Believe in him. And he's going to what? Instruct us. lead us and guide us into all truth. He's going to help us make the right decision. God, is vaccines good for my family and me? Give me a peace so I can get this done. Do I need to do this to protect my loved ones? My mom is elderly and sick. Do I need to do this to protect her? What do I need to do? I've gotten the information now. I know that it's real. I know that it's spreading. I live in the area maybe. Maybe you live in Mexico. Maybe you live in Texas. Maybe you live here in New York. Maybe you live in California. You know? Maybe. So you're going to wash your hands. Disinfect surfaces. 1 part bleach to 10 part water if you don't have anything else. Work perfectly. You're going to avoid sharing utensils and personal items with anybody you feel is infected. In the last few minutes, let me go back. I just want to take you to the top. Measles is highly, highly, highly contagious. The outbreak in this year, 2025, has significantly impacted states like Texas and New Mexico, which account for what? 90%, 90% of the cases. Other affected states include New York, California, and Ohio. Caregivers with children should take extra precautions, especially if they're caring for sick loved ones. We got to do this, guys. We got to do this. All right? We got to do what we know is right. We got to do what we know is right. Caring for our children. Caring for our elderly family members. Guys, I'm going to take this camera down and I want to try and show you a picture now of a baby with measles. If I can do this. I'm doing it on my phone, so don't give me a hard time. See, can I show you this photo now? This is a picture of a baby with the measles. As you can see, there are the bumps, small little bumps all over and around the face there. Okay? See that? Get it closer there. Get a good look. So if you're seeing that on your children or on yourself or anyone around you, you know then you need to take a move. Get the temperature, get the baby to the doctor. All those little bumps, all those little pimples there. That's what it's like, and it will be all over. All over. That's the measles. That's what it looks like. Yeah, right there. So I pray that you take it seriously. And if you see anything like this on your children or on yourself, this is not acne. This is the measles. It's the measles. Okay? Get your child to the doctor. Don't take any chances. And it is highly, highly, highly contagious. So we want to be aware. Okay? All right, guys. I want you to see that. Because a lot of people don't know what it looks like. They've never seen the measles before. They heard about it, but they didn't know exactly what it was about. Okay? So, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me. And make sure you like the video. And we're going to see you next time.